Well, hello again and welcome to Let's Talk Relationship with Grooming Singles. I'm Minister Margie Bell and I am so excited. As I talked with you on Wednesday, I told you how excited I was and couldn't wait to get back with you, and that was true. I'm excited for you because I believe you're moving along, you're making progress in your relationship, and now we're going to talk about the next layer, which is layer number 6, engagement. And oh my goodness, what an exciting layer this is, because you're moving into marriage. Because after engagement, that is the next and final layer where you will actually be pledging your love to one another before God and before all of the witnesses. So let's talk a little bit about engagement today. This, of course, is when the man has decided that he wants to ask the woman to marry him. And she doesn't know when it's going to happen. Sometimes people talk about it and they say, well, let's go ahead and do it, and we're going to do it this day or that day. But sometimes the man, it surprises her. She has no clue that he's getting ready to propose. She has butterflies because she knows that it's going to happen, but she just doesn't know when. So that's what makes it even more exciting, that he just pops up one day and he pops the big question. Now, ladies, what do? You have to really know in your heart that this is the man that you want to say I do to. Because I want you to understand something about engagement. When a man asks a woman to marry him, and when the woman accepts, you are making a grand commitment right then. It's almost as if you're married. You're not married yet, but it's almost as if you are married, because you are making a commitment. Men, you ask this particular woman to be your wife. Ladies, you said yes. You said I do to him without being at the altar. You really said I do to him by accepting his ring. So you have to understand that you should not be going outside of the relationship. It should not be anything going on like that, where you still have a chick on the side, men, or ladies, you still accepting phone calls or text messages or emails from some guy in your past. All of that should be null and void. None of that should be going on. It shouldn't even exist in your relationship. It should not have existed even from the very beginning, when the man first saw the woman, which was the first layer, acknowledgement. So you should have already been cleansed from all of that. And when the woman accepted to get to know you, she should have already been cleansed from all of the debris and all of the foolishness from her past. So now here we are at engagement, and I want to share some questions with you from the Grooming Singles book. I know all of you remember the Grooming Singles book, right? So give me a moment to get to that engagement page. And the engagement page, this is chapter number 7. And layer number 6, of course, engagement, and that can be found on page 87 for those of you who already have the Grooming Singles book. I know many of you already do. So now I want to share some questions with you that you should both be using as evaluation between you and your significant other, the person that you've already asked to marry you. And I believe I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time, not today, of course these segments are very brief and all I can do is just give you snapshots, but I think I'm going to have to come back again on this engagement piece and talk to you a little bit more about that. But today I want to give you a few questions that I believe that both of you need to be sharing along the way, because it is very, very important what you're about to do. This is extreme. This is one of the most important things that you can ever do in your life. The first is giving your heart and your life to the Lord Jesus Christ, and then the second is marriage, because it's really the same thing. Okay? So let me share some questions with you, and I believe that these things will help you along the way. I think you need to really, really ask yourself these questions. And this is the first question, which asks, can I really see myself with him or her? So this is a question for male and female. Can I really see myself with him or her for the rest of my life? Think about that deeply. This is a very serious question. And this question should really make you check your heart. Can I really see myself with him, with her, after you have spent time around each other? You've been to each other's home. You see how each person lives. You see the temperament of each other. You see the attitude of each other. You see how each of you do what you do from day to day because you've been visiting, you've been there, especially if the person already has children. You see how they handle their children. Men, would you want this woman to be a mother to your child? So you have to think about all of this. It's not just about me and her, or her and him. It's not just about that. If there's children involved, you have to bring it all in together because you're all going to become a family. If the man already has children, ladies, because you might not see his children like he sees yours, because when he comes to your house, he sees your children because your children live with you. His children may not live with him. So when you go to his house, all you're seeing is him. Unless he has his children for the weekend. So you see them periodically, but he sees yours all the time. So men, you have to really evaluate, do I want to marry a woman that already has children? Can she handle her children properly? Are her children going to allow me to speak to them and be a disciplinary? Is the woman going to allow me to be a disciplinary to her children without getting upset with you when you try to correct them on something? I've seen this happen over and over again. I've counseled somebody because of that before, because they had these types of challenges. So you can't omit the fact that the person already has children. You have to be able to say, I take you and everything that belongs to you, because that's what marriage is. Even debt, that brings up another point. Talking about taking on everything. When you marry a person, if they have debt, then that's going to be your debt too, because you are one. Your name is going to become his name, ladies. So whatever is on him is going to be on you. So you have to know that this is the person that I still want to be with, regardless of what he might have coming along with him. I accept all of that. When you say I do, that's what you're doing. And the same thing for you men. If this woman has some credit card debt as long as your arm, that's going to become your debt too. You have to realize that. You can't just look at it and say, oh, well, that's her debt, or well, that's his debt. You can't look at that way, because you are going to become one. And if they can't get the money from you, they're going to get it from your spouse. Trust me, I know. I've been in that situation back when I was married, that they couldn't get the money from my husband, my ex-husband, so they came looking for me to pay something that he should have paid. So I'm sharing all these things with you because I really care about you, and I want to make sure that you have all of these things in check and you know what you're getting into before you say I do. Now let me give you another question before we end this segment. Am I marrying him or her for the right reasons? And this question should make you check your motive. What's the real reason why you're marrying the person? Some women want to marry a man because they're tired of taking care of all the children by themselves. They're tired of paying all the bills by themselves. They can't make ends meet. They're tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So they want a man that has a good job so that he can bring some more money in the household. That's the motive for some women wanting to get married. Then for some men, they're tired of cooking, cleaning for themselves. I'm tired of cooking for myself. I'm tired of eating out, so I need a wife so that she can take care of the meals. She can make the meals for me. I'm tired of doing my own laundry. I'm tired of cleaning this house, so I need somebody to do these things. But you have to realize you're not marrying a maid. You're marrying a woman. This is supposed to be your helpmeet. This is supposed to be your partner. This is supposed to be the one that you do things together with, not someone that you dump all your dirty laundry on and say, I need you to take care of this because I don't want to do it anymore. So you have to realize that marriage is a partnership. It's not one do one thing and one do the other, but you do it together as one. You have to learn how to be one now before you even get married. Being one in the heart, being one in the mind, because when you get married, it's a spiritual thing. It's something that you cannot see happen when you become one. But when I say become one now, I mean thinking not just for yourself, but thinking with for the other person as well, bringing them into your life. That's becoming one in your mind before you even say I do, and becoming one in your heart. So really, really, really evaluate all of these things. Think about what you're doing. Think about those 2 questions that I threw out. There's many, many more questions in this book, and I will be chatting with you again about this very subject because there's so much to it, and I want to make sure that you have the best life ever. So until next time, I'll be chatting with you again from my heart to your heart. I'm Minister Margie Bell.